Burgess?
Here.
Trustee Young?
Here.
Supervisor Deborah?
Here.
Clerk's here.
All right, let's stand then for the pledge to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, everybody have a minute, chance to look at your minutes. For the meeting of November 17th. Has anybody had a chance to find out if there's any corrections or additions?
Do you really want to know?
Sure. I love to have.
Please don't get this on TV.
You're on TV no matter what.
I'm good over here.
Okay, well, then is there a motion to approve the minutes as written?
So move.
Written by Maurice, second?
Second.
By James. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Deborah?
Yes. All right, are there any public comments? Dr. Williams will have you on the agenda later on under intergovernmental agreement with Creek Money District and the Village of Monee later on. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Supervisors report. General Assistance report is from November 11th through December 9th. We had 13 intakes, 5 applications, 0 flat grants, 0 other aid, 21 pantries, 0 denied, 8 pending, 0 terminated. There are 6 on general assistance. We spent $1,470 for general assistance and $2,136.35 on emergency assistance, for a total of $3,606.35. We had, the seniors had our brunch at the Green Garden Golf Club on December 6th, and we had, well, I don't know, we had a full 137. We had 137 people signed up for it total. Not all of them showed up, of course. And of course, what we did is we did have to expand. We did have a waiting list, and we did expand and called all the people on the waiting list. Once we called the Green Garden, found out that they had enough room for them. And then, of course, there's always some people that don't show up. But it was very nice. Everybody, a lot of good feedback, a lot of calls later on thanking us for the senior event and saying they really liked it at Green Garden. So it was great.
You got a count for that day?
Pardon me?
Yeah, did you get the count for that day?
Give me a count, I still have a list. If you want it, I can get it right now.
Did we get 137?
It
No.
was probably about 100, maybe 125.
Okay, so yeah, that was one of the
But
questions
we
we
did call
had.
those people on the waiting
On the
list.
waiting
did,
list?
yes.
Okay.
And by calling them, we did, and by making sure they had room, we did have to pay for the 140, is that correct? That
Right.
we had told them to arrange for.
Okay.
So you see, that's why we don't always try to, we always try to give a leeway there, because we know so many people aren't gonna show up, so.
How much was the meal?
Right.
What was the per meal?
$17.95.
Per meal?
Plus, then we had to pay gratuity.
Yeah.
So
On
you
that.
figured $20 and, what, 15 meals?
But it was nice, and it worked out, and this is all, the seniors approved, it before we expanded it, so they're the ones that control all that. The next thing is the Valentine's Lunch, which is here at the Township Hall on Tuesday, February 14th.
2007.
2017, right, not 16.
Not 16.
Okay.
That was back in the future. Back in the past or back in the future? Made the
Now-
seniors a lot younger.
I'm
I-
not used to 17 yet.
Want you to look around very carefully, because we have the elves here at the township with a few volunteers.
You see
We've
all
all
the
been
work I
very,
did.
very busy, yeah. And of course, Maurice was in Mexico, so pay no attention to him.
Lima, Peru.
Peru, that's right. But around the corner, we have all the presents, because we have 107 families signed up, and we will have a report in January, but out of 107 families, we had Oh, many children, and any child that's 12 and under got 5 gifts this year, and then anybody 13 and over got 1 gift, and the adults are basically wrapped gifts so that they have something to open. So it's a huge undertaking. Of course, Willa keeps everything organized with her helper Shirley Lathan, and they do the brunt of the work. David and his crew, we could not do without David. They went go groceries for us. They picked up toys for tots for us. I mean, you name it. They helped put the stuff back up in the rafters today because we still had it all over the place. So we wouldn't be able to do it without you, David. So we really do appreciate all of that work.
Two helpers are the one that all the work.
But we have done a lot of, it's been a lot. So we are ready. Tomorrow is our giveaway day. So tomorrow at, starting at 8:30, if anybody is able-bodied and can come in and help us, because when people come in, most of them, or many of them, the seniors especially, do need help carrying their boxes out to the car. So, we really need some manpower is what we need, or a woman power, very strong. But it's not me. We were lifting all these boxes over and over again. I'd go home going, oh my God, my back is killing me. So I need some young blood. Okay, that is all I have. Clerk's report.
No petitions have been filed, or any filing as of today. This is like day 4. We started Monday. We were open for the filing period is between December 12th and December 19th. So
Monday's the last day.
Monday's the last day. The Democrat Day caucus on December 6th.
Okay.
So that's all I have.
Okay. Highway Commissioner's report.
Snow has arrived. It is gonna leave, I don't think anytime shortly. Not tomorrow, this next one coming through, now we're talking ice. Big dead stuff, but anyhow, we're all set. I got salt, trucks are loaded. I got salt in, special salt for worse and colder weather. They call it clear lane, costs a little more. See what it does. I also had a deal with Highland, or out here, there's a section of it, it's University Parks. And I received a call. When I drove by it, I looked at it and I said, holy mackerel. Nothing was done. And I said, well, you know what, it's not mine, I can't start doing
One
it.
right by the school.
Yep. So I got a call from the school district.
You got a call from me.
That's right. Nice meeting you. Okay, so,
Between Olmsted and Creek Money Road.
yeah.
So from the
Yep.
school.
From the
Yeah,
school to
yeah,
County Road.
yeah, we've done it for years, but now that's got annexed in since 2005. So, I drove out there and looked at it, and I figured, well, I'm close enough to the University Park, garage, so I pulled in there and I talked to Gary, I think it was last name. And-
Richardson.
Okay, yeah, and he, well, I don't know, could you do it, And I says, well, yeah, I'll do it, I'll take care of it, just the snow plow. Road repairs, that's all your baby, that's not mine. You know, I'll plow in there and get it cleaned up.
So let's take a step
And
back.
keep it solid from now on, keep it going, because it's a public safety. I mean, we've got
Public
people.
safety with the buses there.
Yes, we got people from, I'm sure there's people from Monee, take their kids down there.
Yes.
And I know there's 2 Deutsches that go down that road too,
And
to school every day.
There's a supervisor that goes on that road.
So anyhow,
And the administrator.
I agreed today, I think we shook our hands, and I think you were on the phone.
That goes into
Yeah,
Highland.
yeah, Black Hawk runs south,
And
and
to
it
Highland.
turns into Highland.
Creek Monee.
Right
Right,
there.
Creek Monee Road,
Right
right.
there, so it's from the school to Creek Monee Road.
But that is
And
not.
To school to Creek Monee Road.
Olmsted, you know what Olmsted?
Yeah,
Olmsted.
south of there.
To Creek
Yeah.
Money.
It
Road,
was.
that road right
That
there,
was-
that's Black Hawk. And they
Yeah,
call it
Black Hawk,
Highland.
yeah, Black Hawk
Yeah,
Island,
it turns into
Yeah.
Highland.
yeah,
See, the
Okay, well-
problem is that we have taken care of that road for years.
yeah.
And in 2005, apparently,
Yeah.
some property changed hands, and it became University Parks Road. We did not know that until last year,
Yep.
when David was looking at different things at the County.
Yeah.
And they said, well, that's not your road. So
Yeah.
he talked to somebody in University Park and said, this is not our road. You will have to take care of this from now on. And they said, okay. And then apparently nobody
I don't know.
remembers
Yeah.
that conversation, and
Well,
so they were not taking care of
Dave,
the
I
road.
can tell you one thing that I know is that the supervisor of DPW has changed at least 3 times in the past 2
Oh, yeah.
years. You know,
Well, I had a phone call from Mr. Townsend, I believe, it
Jerry
was,
Thompson.
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, that-
And I said, I'm up here at the University of Chicago, I'm gonna get cut open. Well, he said, we'll talk about this later. I says, yeah, okay, well, we never did, so.
Well, Jerry's no longer working with
No.
us.
He's no longer there.
Yeah, he's with Richland Park now.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So we-
But anyhow, then I started to think about this tonight, I said, I better call insurance. I gotta find out what, am I covered going in a non-township road? Well, they said, you really should have a memorandum of agreement drawn up, and the 2 of you should sign that and get that. And then tell us, we'll look it over, and, then you'll be covered.
Did he say why he couldn't do it?
Equipment mainly, but then I see they got 2 brand new pieces, well, not new pieces, but nice looking trucks, 2 of them. Yeah, they got them from, he said they got them from the village of Bensonville. They bought them from them.
So the school itself, what address do we use? Do we use Olmsted or do we use a?
It's an Olmsted address, 7.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I think the frontage road goes on down that way. So anyhow, I just wanted to make you aware of that, and I don't know what Joe, if you can give me some help here on this, or if you legal.
Probably what they're talking about is some type of
Yeah.
intergovernmental agreement.
Yeah, yeah, can you draw something up for me, or?
Yeah,
But-
just give me
Okay.
the specifics, like we're talking about.
Yeah, we'll talk, I'll get a hold of you.
But if we don't have any
Why do
responsibility,
we have to do that?
Yeah, that's
That should
what-
be ours.
that's-
That's not even, that's the village of University Park.
That's correct, that's very
So-
correct, I agree with you,
So
Mark.
why do we even have to do
Bring
it?
them there.
I totally agree with you, but like I say, it's a matter of public safety for me.
Life safety, you've got children.
Well, see,
and
this is my
adults that
concern,
are on
is-
the road. You want kids to fall off?
Oh, no.
the road?
No, I mean, I can understand that.
Yes.
I can understand.
No, okay, we can do that with everything. I mean, we fought tooth and nails for, should we go ahead and provide rocks on that one street off Egyptian?
Correct.
So we
That's
went on
correct.
and took it as a safety thing and all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
That was not ours.
When I
That's
got
what
it bought.
We bought the
Yeah, I got the
property.
right of way bought, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I understand it, but I can see if it was a hardship on University Park, when they right there on Blackhawk, and why can they not
I know.
go straight ahead and
I know.
clean up the road? It's
I know.
an easy fix.
Yes.
I know.
So David, you crossing all over across Creek Monee Road.
Correct.
After you finish Highland on
Yep.
that side.
Yep,
And then you do nothing on Creek Monee Road.
no,
No,
that's
not
county,
That's what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying.
That's
So
right.
you crossing over,
it's right, crossing over.
and you stopping, you have to turn around somewhere on
Olmsted, go down Olmsted, turn around, come back.
Yeah, so that, I just can't see that. I mean,
It's not
Okay, I
that
mean-
much, but the thing is
Yeah.
this, whether he does an intergovernmental agreement, then maybe he can work out something with University Park that they take care of another smidgen of road that they go past all the time, and that might be able to do something.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we have to realize this, it is hardship, it is life safety.
Yep.
If we can help him sometime for temporarily,
Yeah.
then that's exactly what we'll try to
That's
do.
what I'm trying to
I don't see no
Because,
problem
you know,
help,
Yeah.
extending for
Right,
help, but
right.
we need to say, in those cases,
Yeah.
we're gonna have an intergovernmental agreement. Say, you know what, in
That's right.
that cases, you can contact us if you cannot do the job.
No,
For
No.
whatever reason, we're
No.
here to help you.
I know.
Well,
But not
see-
to take ownership
Well,
of
see,
it.
this.
Oh,
is-
no,
this
no,
is-
that's not what he
That's
said.
gone,
This is my concern.
that's gone.
This is my concern. I
I'm not
understand
taking
the
it
issue-
over.
I understand the issue of
Yeah.
public safety. I mean, I would
Yeah.
want that too.
That's right,
But see, my concern is that once we start,
I know, that's a
University
very,
Park is not gonna do anything.
that's a
That's
very,
why
that's,
the
that's
That's
a
my
very,
concern.
Be very
that's,
specific.
You
that's a
know.
very concern of mine also, but I
Yeah.
spelled that out to him, period. Any potholes, paving, forget it.
And the other
That's
thing
your
is the
baby.
liability involved when we do it, Joe.
Yeah, and
Yes.
here's another
Well,
case.
that's
Wait,
what,
Maurice.
well, I mean, that's where we're saying, I mean, it is a bit of an iffy situation if
Yep.
we're going around,
Yep.
snow plowing roads that we don't own.
Yeah, correct.
If we do it in the context of an intergovernmental agreement,
Yeah.
it'd be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
we're just gonna have to know if there's gonna be some kind of trade-off on something else, like.
Well, yeah. I'd like to just have it for this year, then next year, it's theirs again.
If it's their
I'll help
property,
them out this one year.
if it's their property, they have the equipment, all they need to do is assign the personnel to do it when it's needed.
So I think that's probably what the problem is there.
What, they don't have the personnel?
Yeah.
But they got the equipment?
Somebody told me that both trucks are following each other.
They are.
And, you know, that to me, if I ever see my guys going up, I'd say,
Right behind
hey,
them.
when do you
But that's
guys
no-
get on
that's
the other
because
side of
of-
the
That's
township?
because of limited
did, I
supervision,
saw
that's
it.
what that,
Well, you know,
that's all
Well,
that is.
there's been so many changes there, they don't necessarily know what
Yeah.
they're doing.
but I just wanted to fill you in on this,
Yeah.
and, you know,
And you'll work it out with Joe with intergovernmental.
yeah, we'll work on some of
Well,
that.
David, are we doing anything, we put our stamp of approval somewhat temporarily on Will Center Road. Remember that road that was the worst road in
Grading.
the United States of America?
Oh, yeah, that's when I came in office, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
third world country.
So, we had a portion of the road belong to Monee, then the bad part belonged to University Park, right?
That's correct.
And now that it's paved, who does what? Do Monee go so far, and then University Park
Oh,
takes
yeah,
the rest?
oh, yeah,
That's how it is.
oh, yeah.
Is that road
Oh,
being
yeah.
paved? Is that road
I
being
got
plowed?
roads, all over the place.
I know it's paved, but is that road being plowed, Dave?
I don't go there.
Dr.
I don't go that way that much.
School, you haven't heard any issues
I don't
of,
travel that way.
Monee Elementary School as far as no issues there where buses not get through?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
Now, Drawley Road out that way,
drive.
I get complaints about that, there's big potholes in there.
And that's University Park.
That's University Park Street.
Okay, well, we'll let David work it out with Joe.
All right.
Work it out, Dave.
I will, thank you, Merry Christmas.
And real quickly, so we can get that signed so that you're not in jeopardy.
I know, I'll get a hold of Joe tomorrow on this.
All right, assessor report.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
And say happy holidays and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from the assessor's office. And, it is real cold, I guess y'all. I did wanna highlight some things, the village of Monee has been recently giving, rebates to their residents. And part of the things that they have to bring there, I guess, to prove that they're a resident and that they're getting exemptions, they had to bring their tax bills. So they have been informing a number of the residents if they didn't see an exemption on their tax bill. And so we've been getting a lot of calls and emails, you know, inquiring about their exemptions. So that's been really good. It really is like no way other than when we always tell people to look at their tax bill every year to make sure that they're getting the exemptions that they should have, for us to know, unless there's a sales transaction or something like that. And some of these people actually been in their homes for a while and they weren't getting the exemptions. So I think that's been good. This popcorn is strangling me. We have completed our county appeals for this year, and we're in the process of submitting evidence for state appeals. Some of them go back as far as to 2014. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you ready for me?
I'm done.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, you're done.
Sorry.
I thought you were just getting a drink of water, and continue. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Attorney's report?
Nothing to report except at the last meeting, I was asked to contact Dr. Williams from Creek Monee, and I did better than that, I brought her with me.
Okay, we will talk to her later. All right, there's no standing committee, of course, let's move into new business. We have our yearly intergovernmental agreement with Will County for our dial ride. It's just been updated and, but there's been no changes that I saw. So I would like a motion to approve the intergovernmental agreement between the County of Will, Illinois and Monee Township for participation in the Will County Mobility Management Project.
I make a motion that we, for
whatever you say.
Okay, is there a second? Second by Debbie. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Deborah.
Yes. Okay, we talked about this previously, that we, would put in place some type of educational policy. This is a tentative one I just kind of drew up. And so it's open to comments, changes, whatever you would like to do. I just, does this meet what we were trying to do?
I think we need a little clarity. A little clarity on the last paragraph, starting at the second sentence, all the way down to the end. Basically, the last two sentences, just a little bit clarity on it. The supervisor must pre-approve the class for the town officials and employees. The assessor must pre-approve the class for employees, and the highway commissioner must pre-approve the class for the road district employees. This approved class will be paid for by the township out of each respective departmental budget. So, I guess, who approves the supervisors? Who pre-approves the supervisors class if they so
No, I
choose?
do. Supervisor, I approve all the officials, that's all part of it.
Okay,
And we're talking one class per year, which I'm not
Right.
taking anyway, so, but it's
well,
not.
we still have to make the language fit.
Well, it
Yeah.
says that relates to position, will approve the class for the town officials, and that includes the supervisor.
So if a class is not pre-approved by the supervisor, that means it never comes to the board for final approval.
It doesn't get paid.
Okay, I would think pre-approval is warranted for a person to even start a class.
Right, it has to be pre-approved, and if it's pre-approved, the approved class will be paid for by the township.
What do you want to say?
I just,
Registration?
no, I just think I think the board should have in some capacity a say-so on the pre-approval process. Because if it's pre-approved, basically, we're saying it's okay. If it's not pre-approved, we may not even have a chance to vote on that, or we won't see it. We won't see it at all.
I have no problem if you want to put in the line. I mean, if you want to change this all that the board must approve everything, I don't have a problem with that.
I think that's what it should be.
So where do you want it? What do you want to say?
Oh, I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it, but it should be.
Come on, you got an idea, you
Well,
gotta have the language.
Well, it basically, I would just say the board must approve. So it's up to the person to bring it to us and say, this is the class I want to take, or whatever.
You gonna step over the line, the chain of command come to us?
Well, yeah.
What's the chain of command?
The employee
David's
to the
employees go to
No,
David.
no.
He comes out of his
No.
budget.
Okay.
Sandra's employees have to get per approval first before they can even come to the board. So, I mean, now
No.
you're stepping over the supervisors.
No, I'm not, that's not my intent, Dave. We do not have anything to do, we approve your budget and you can do whatever you need to do with
That's
your
right.
budget. Sandra budget is with ours.
So that's
Okay,
different.
and your employees, again, you manage your budget as you see fit. So you approve, eventually, we have to approve the
We've
courses.
approved the budget, right.
Okay,
Once the board has approved the budget, and if there should be a line in there for, if they want to add a line in the next budgets for educational classes, that's fine, or it can be taken out of miscellaneous,
well,
but,
look, let me just stay with us, the trustees, for example. If, I'm gonna use James, if James wanted to attend a class,
I'm a trustee.
okay, you're a trustee, right? Then, as it's stated right here, that Donna has to pre-approve it before it comes to us.
That's right, it doesn't come to the board, though.
Mhm. Right, it doesn't come to the board.
You
So
just-
it's at your sole discretion to determine if we can take that class or not.
So you wanna put an appeal policy in there?
Not appeal, I don't wanna do
If she
that.
tells me no and I still feel it's necessary. you wanna put
Yeah,
appeal
I mean, I
policy?
guess it's up to you to come, I don't know, I don't think it should be, there's too many steps. I think if it comes to the board, we just bring it to the board
That would be an
initially.
appeal. If
Yeah.
she tells
But
me
you-
no, you can't go, and I still won't
Then
go.
she could take it to the board, right? I mean,
And
I just
suppose-
don't know why the board has to be in this in the first place, except that you've approved the budgets originally. And like David, we can't put in here that, you know, David has to pre-approve his, and because it's taken from his budget. Same as Sandra would have to, if she had any, if she doesn't really have any full-time employees, but if she had any full-time employees, then, you know, she would bring them. And she would have to approve that.
I just don't
You're
think
saying
it's,
all of these then should come to the board for approval before then?
no, at least minimum the township. As far as the township officials.
So you're saying the township
Yeah.
officials are less than the employees?
No, I'm
because
not
they can
saying
just-
that,
their
because you're just saying that
supervisors can employ
they
them.
are, we have nothing to do with, other than approving David's budget.
Uh-huh.
We approve Sandra's budget, but Sandra's budget is
It's under our
is
budget.
under ours, so.
Right.
And I guess we have been approving Sandra's courses, but now we're saying we have to approve Sandra's, well, it actually says the assessor must well, she falls under township
Town
officials.
officials, yes.
Employees, so, and then Sandra approves her employees, so that's a lot of steps there, but I just, again, I didn't have the answer, I said this is vague to me. I just think
I'm
we need
saying
to
fine.
verbalize it
Yeah,
somehow.
what type of wording do you want to put in here?
And then when I said, you gotta shoot me down, I said, the board must approve the
Well,
class.
where do you want
I'm
to
just
put
Right
that?
to
asking
be
for
it, right to be it.
clarification,
Well,
Marcus.
we're
That's all I'm
right.
asking.
I'm asking for
Let me-
clarifications too, that's why I
let me,
came
Let
here.
me ask you this, then. Suppose I'm one of David's employees,
Yeah,
and I ask David if I can go to this class,
okay,
and David said, no, you can't go.
okay.
Should I just freeze it right there? I can't go, David won't let me go. Or should I have the right to appeal it to the board?
Yeah, but we already know about, among board members, we can't control David's
No.
budget.
I understand that,
But
so,
I-
I understand that, but
yeah.
should I have that, that
No.
opportunity to do?
It
I
doesn't,
would think so.
I would think
As an
not.
employee of a township, you always got the right to come to the board.
You can
In
go to the
some
board on
capacity,
anything.
you always have a right.
But that's what you're talking about, right? The board being involved some kind of way in controlling, approval of this, that's what that's the way that you're talking
Yeah,
about, right?
in some capacity,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
I'm just saying that it shouldn't just be, when we have a board, I know we have roles and responsibilities and limitations, so to speak, but the buck stops here, right here, in my opinion.
You know, I would
So-
agree with you, we don't have staff problems.
No.
We haven't had
No.
them since 7 years we've been here.
Yeah, but we're writing policies and we're trying to do this, and it may be a whole different thing for the next board. So we're setting things here. Maybe we don't have problems now, but could have problems in the future. So it's just not about us, we're setting the guides here. So this is a policy that we are about to invoke ourselves upon. So I'm just saying again, I asked the question, I said, if our supervisor would like to attend a class, who approves her class? Who pre-approves her class?
She gave you an answer.
Yeah, she said myself.
She
Or
told
maybe
you
Joe,
she did.
I don't know. Joe. So
Joe
I
is
looked
not-
at it, I'm like,
Joe was not an official.
I know,
politician.
that was just
Now,
being
what I'm
sarcastic.
looking at then, if you want to add some language, then we just should say this, so we can get on with this. We could just say all classes,
Where do you at, Donna?
well, I'm not any place right now, I'm just trying to write something down here. All classes, to be taken by town officials and town employees, which covers Sandra's office and this office and all the elected officials, must be approved by the board. Pre-approved.
You said my office?
Then what are they gonna do, Donna?
Yes.
What is the department heads gonna
Why?
do? What are they gonna do?
At
What can-
this point,
We have
because-
just taken the control away from them.
Right. That's right.
But
Yeah, I
that,
have a question myself. Where it has the supervisor must pre-approve the class for town officials and employees, the assessor must pre-approve the class for employees. So does that mean that the assessor must pre-approve, and the supervisor must also approve assessor employees?
No, it
No.
doesn't say that. It says the supervisor must pre-approve the class for town officials and employees. Now, assessor is an official, so I would have to approve hers. But she is the one that is to take it out of her budget, so she is the one that approves that one class per year for her employee.
But it's more clear when you mention about the highway commissioner, but look at how it's verbalized with the assessor. The assessor must pre-approve the class for employees. What employees? I assume it's with the assessor.
You can put assessor department.
Okay, but if you look at, and the highway commissioner must pre-approve the class for the road district employees. That's specific. So it's specific with the highway commissioner, but it's not real specific with the assessor.
Well, probably, you could probably just put the word assessors in front of
Yeah,
assessor in front of
yeah, I
employees.
saw that. And then again, that's kind
The
of.
assessor must pre-approve the class for assessor employees.
Yeah, right. So I saw that, it kind of turned me, I'm like,
Employees,
okay.
and then period. The highway commissioner must pre-approve the class for road district
And I'm good,
employees.
I'm good with
This
that.
Pre-approved class must be paid for by the township out of each respective departmental budget. You're okay with that?
I'm good with that.
All right. So now,
I
we're
got a
back
question.
To the
to,
supervisor
the
must.
supervisor must pre-approve the class for the town officials and employees.
I would say the board. The board must pre-approve the class for the township officials and employees. Then the only employees we have, I guess, under the township, I think with Joe's, that's kind of vague too. What employees? The only one we have is Willa.
It says
I
full-time
guess that's the intent.
employees.
That's Donna's responsibility.
The what?
If Willa wanted to go to class, the only person she needs approval from is Donna. She's
Okay
the
with that,
supervisor.
well, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But it's also saying us, and I don't think it should be the case.
Okay, the board must pre-approve the class for the town officials, period.
Great,
The
yes,
supervisor
I'm good with that, that's it.
will pre-approve for the town employees.
Can we all just get along? That's it. That's it.
Are we all set now?
We're good.
Read that back.
Type of Risa T.
Aren't we doing that anyway when we see the bills?
You will see this, yes, we are.
Okay, so
We
we're
are-
doing that anyway.
You're
No,
not
you're not
pre-approving.
pre-approving. That's already, the class already
You're
done.
paying
That's
if
the
it's
pay.
already been paid.
That's done. The work is, the damage is done.
Okay, this is what it's
So-
gonna read, kind of, because I can't read my writing most of the time. In addition to the above, one class per year may be taken out of a general nature by elected officials or full-time employees as long as it relates in some way to the position that is held. The board must pre-approve the class for town officials. The supervisor must pre-approve the class for town employees. The assessor must pre-approve the class for assessor employees. The highway commissioner must pre-approve the class for road district employees. This approved class will be paid for by the township out of each respective departmental budget.
Okay, read that again.
Let me ask this question, Donna. Is this in addition to, is this something separate from a training budget that they have already?
This is be part of the training budget, because we're talking, the first paragraph has to do with elected officials and full-time employees may take educational classes that are sponsored by the township officials of Illinois. And also the assessor, this is basically the next sentence is the assessor, classes that are mandated and necessary to keep compliant with certifications for their positions, as in the case of the assessor and the deputy assessor, which is a part-time position at present, because I'm spelling it out because up above I'm saying full-time employees are also allowed. These will be paid for by the township, taken from each respective departmental budget. No pre-approval for officials is required, but employees need approval from their direct supervisor. And that is basically what comes out of our educational budget. And if anybody takes the class, it'll come out of the town educational budget.
Okay, I have one question. I know you said the required for recertification by the assessor. That's not one that has to be pre-approved, right?
No,
Okay.
no. Because those are things that you, as an
Mandated.
assessor, are mandated to
Mandated.
take, and that's
Okay.
not something we can
Right.
say you can't do.
Right.
Right, and I think that's part of your statute and code is the assessors, I believe, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So, all right, are we okay with this? We'll make changes and bring it back in January? Everybody? Okay?
Do we have to bring it back? Or
Yes.
just,
No,
can we
we
say
need to
with
bring
those
it back
changes?
with the changes and bring it back in January.
Okay.
And we will have it ready then, so that we're not doing anything half-assed, we will bring it back.
Okay.
All right, next is we have to adopt the notice of the 2017 meeting dates and holidays. This is something that we're required to do every year so that we can have this noticed in the newspapers. It's something that we publish. And we'll put this together as to all the dates. Since you listed all the meetings for the year, is there a motion to approve the notice of 2017 meeting dates?
So moved.
Moved by Maurice, second by Terry. Obligation, 3% of that is $7,500. I would suggest that if we do anything at all, that we do a 3% on the legal bills for this to be capped at $7,500.
Well, I can speak to your, the difference between your 3%, because I did start with 3%, but considering the fact that we are not proposing any cost to you for the work that my office is doing in relation to this, I increased it to 5% based on the $5,000 legal cost. If we were to actually end up in court, which I do anticipate that would happen, we have another estimate from the attorneys. This estimate is based off of something that we thought would be a much smaller project with the attorneys.
How much is that, Dr. Williams?
5,000, that's what we originally thought, but that was before
Right.
the mayor.
But if you went into court,
I'd have to find out from the attorney what the new estimate would be.
Well, see, I'm not gonna consider your costs, because what you do in your business office is to the benefit of Crete Monee School District. And I would think that we would only share the percentage that we would possibly gain if we had a successful lawsuit. The problem is, as a township that has very little resources, we have only taxpayers' dollars and nothing else coming in, we don't have a lot of extra money to spend, and to do more than 3%, I think doesn't, well, it's not justified when you look at, say, 28,000 compared to $1 million. And because we can't take into consideration your cost, because you'd be doing that anyway, out of your business office for your $1 million portion of it.
Well, actually keeping you informed and providing whatever
And-
paperwork is necessary to connect it, I wouldn't.
I would think part of that 3% would be covered in that, because normally it would actually be 2.8, so that other 2% on there would be what would keep us informed on that. I don't think that that's asking too much there. In fact, as I said, and I want to cap our expenses at $7,500, which would be up to which is amounts that litigation goes to $250,000. If it goes above that, we say no, we cap it at that. I mean, I want help, I'd like to be involved in this, but as I said, we don't have a lot of money. And the money that we would get back is very small compared to the amount of money that you would get back. And it just, we can't, justify spending all of that to get back at this. We spend $7,500, we're only gonna get back possibly $20,000 out of that. And that's if we won anything, if it's possible to win anything in this type of a thing.
I personally don't think we can crunch the numbers even right now. I understand the limitations when it comes to money, but I think we're talking about taxpayers, we're talking about students, we're talking about, again, even the village of University Park. I was just thinking about the library in and of itself, the district, they can probably chime in on this in some capacity, even though it's in Monee.
we don't have property in Monee.
That doesn't make a difference.
We're not part of
It
it.
doesn't make a difference because you have taxpayers that's gonna be affected. If it affects us, then the township.
But the Board of Trustees in University Park and Public Library is not gonna consider it unless we actually have property there.
Okay,
They're
but
not
it's
gonna
gonna,
consider
it affects
Yeah.
the taxpayers.
be.
It affects the
It could be.
taxpayers. And that's the bottom line.
And I don't argue
The
that point with you.
taxpayers is getting hit here,
Well, I'm sharing with you.
for the most
Maurice.
part. Every taxpayer in Monee Township.
Understand that, but in order to
And
do
then
that,
some.
in order to do that, you have to get our board attorney on board with it
Okay.
too. And he's
So,
already made that
and
clear
I think the
to
more
us about
muscles, the
Franklin
more
property.
muscles we have, you know, the more show of force we have, I think the better. And I definitely agree. I don't know, I've never been involved with something like this. I don't know how far it would go up as far as money. It's always a limitation for, on both sides of the fence. Nobody has a pocket full of money, especially, you know, the school district. That's why we're here, or Dr. Williams is here. And even though we get a fraction of what the school district get, it's still worth fighting for, but we have limitations, I
It's
understand that.
limitations, which
Yes.
is why I'm saying 3% up to a cap of 7,500, and that's quite a bit out of a small budget that we have,
Yeah,
and out of
and-
the small amount that we might possibly get back, and that we might not, it might just be down the drain.
But I think the taxpayers would definitely, you know, wave their hand in support in some capacity that we're out there fighting for them. Because
Which is-
they're getting screwed here. They're getting screwed.
There's no doubt in my mind, Maurice, that's what's taking place.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, they're getting
Okay.
screwed, big time.
But at the same time, I don't have a problem with getting on board with it, but how we gonna control the cost involved?
And again, Donna, you know.
You can't control the costs, other
The
than what
legal
we
costs
set.
involved.
We set limits.
I suggested to set a not-to-exceed figure because,
Sure.
I mean, it's really hard to predict litigation costs. I mean,
Sure.
an issue like this, and I'm not sure, you know, if everybody's ready to do this, but, I mean, an issue like this could easily be the kind of thing that gets, you know, besides getting litigated to trial courts and appellate courts and Supreme Court, I mean, it really could be that kind of an issue,
It could be, it could be.
which goes
Sure.
some distance. And so the costs, I mean, the costs can be high, they can be high.
Absolutely.
And,
But you have to have first a willingness to do, and you have to count the costs, obviously, but you have to have a willingness. And I think at this setting tonight, I don't think we need to firm ourselves on trying to secure numbers that we can pay. I think it's the mindset to say, you know, right now we don't have to have a firm answer, but we'll be looking to support in some capacity. And then we can talk and firm up those
Well,
numbers.
I think we need to finalize it, Maurice. We can't just say we're going to help and not have a final dollar figure. We have to have something in mind. We have to say, we are willing to go on board with you, sign on an intergovernmental agreement that we will do 3% of, you know, what it's gonna cost for litigation or attorney fees, whatever, up to a cap of $7,500.
So
And I
you was
think we
looking-
need to set that.
So you was looking tonight to enter to an agreement?
I am looking to get some facts and figures so that Joe and the school district can get together and work on language.
All right, hey, I'm not stopping a train from moving.
Okay, because I don't know, what is their timeline on this, Dr. Williams?
Well, I was actually, going to say that this is the initial step. We haven't even ran the numbers to determine how much money is at stake here. I know that the value of the increment is $30 million is on the table when you add up all of the tips. But I don't know how much money is on the table as it relates to the different parcels that he wants to keep here and let go there. And we have to run the numbers for that. So I would suggest that, for now, we just discuss it and talk about supporting by attending the village meetings. Because from my perspective, the mayor did not
And if people can attend the Monee meeting, I'm not certain when they are, you know, in the morning.
Second Tuesday of the month, I believe. I can send that information.
All right. so you
Wasn't
said that.
something happening this month as well? What's going on next week? Is a meeting there next week?
I believe they're having a meeting. I believe it is next week. But I mean, there's no action being taken as it relates to this because TIF 2 is going to expire at the end of the month. And the Amazon contract is already in place. So whatever he's committed to as it relates to that is already in place. How he's going to fund it is still the question.
Now,
because
going back to
TIF
TIF 2, TIF 2 is going to expire Do we benefit from that TIF?
Yes.
Can anything happen on that?
We benefit from that TIF
So
as it
that's-
stands today. When it expires, the growth will be put on the tax rolls.
So-
Unless TIF 5 is created and he absorbs the property that was in TIF 2 into TIF 5.
Do you know how much money is in the TIF two at this time?
Yes, roughly.
About 18 million?
No, that's TIF 3. TIF 2, I didn't bring all of my files. I'm just looking at the graph, and it looks like it's 9 million.
So those will be expired, and then we'll go back on the taxing rolls as of next year.
Hopefully.
Okay, and that's if they don't redo another whole thing.
And if you, one of the documents I had handed out had a small chart, the email had a small chart on the back from the mayor that was showing the money that will come back to the taxing bodies. But a large part of that is money that we would receive regardless because TIF 2 is expiring. So,
And that's for the 20,000.
From TIF 2, the 20,000 from TIF 2? Okay.
And you're saying this includes all the TIFs at this time?
that is what he is proposing. That's what he's determined will come back to schools with his full plan.
With his full plan?
Yes, with most of that being re-TIFed into the big TIF.
But not coming back to the township until what year? I mean, what
Next
month?
year,
So
because,
he's saying all of this would come back to us as of next year,
yes.
so the school.
So will council take any position on this?
In the article that I gave you, Mr. Walsh made a statement in support of the Amazon Fulfillment Center.
Well, the center itself, monetarily, is a good thing. It's just that if it's tipped up the wazoo, it's, I don't know how helpful that is in the short term and in the long term, you know.
Well, if it's a cash deal and you're giving an 80% tax break for 15 years, but your TIF dollars expire in 6 years under the current agreements, I don't understand how you can fund that.
Well, then if he redoes the tip though, that tip expires well past the 15 years that Amazon is contracted for.
If it's legal to redo a TIF in an area that was just TIF.
Right. Dave?
Is the road district involved in this?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So in other words, what's happening here, Dr. Williams,
Yes.
is that the mayor of Monee is trying to take money away from the education
Yes,
of the children.
yes. Big
I
time.
wouldn't say that. I would
I
say
would.
that the mayor is advocating for the village. And it does not seem to be a desire to partner with the taxing bodies.
In other words, we're not going to get any money out of it.
That would be one way to interpret it.
The election's coming up this spring, you know.
I know, that's why I think it's very important that the individuals that feel strongly about this come out to the next few meetings, because I think we need to send a message.
And he's the only one in Monee that you've been in contact with, none of the trustees or?
Well, no, we asked to meet, we wanted to understand the plan.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you see the email that we had, it's maybe 3 sentences. We wanted to understand what was being proposed. So that was the intent of the meeting, to get an understanding. But the attorney did not come, so the attorney could not address the legality from his perspective. Our attorney did ask probing questions of the mayor that raised further concern.
From my understanding, the village doesn't have an attorney now. He's quit.
This indicates that it's Monee Township roads is $23,000.
Or you put me in there too.
So wait a minute, so we
I'd
talking
love
about
to.
23 in addition to 28? Or just part
Well,
of the
we
28?
can't do it together,
So
because
two
there's the
different
town
taxes.
has to pay, and then it
Okay,
has
so
to
we're
be a
talking about
different,
separate.
two separate.
Separate.
So we could be talking 2% out of David's budget and 3% out of ours, so that is your 5% out of the road and the town. So that would give you a 5% at that point.
I'm getting,
You talking about the roads leading up to and around the Amazon site?
that's all, I don't know how that works, because that's not, I don't have anything to do with them roads anymore. Anything that's in the village, like I said earlier, is not my jurisdiction. Thank God.
Okay, well, we will bring this back in January. Thank you, Dr. Williams.
I have one question.
Okay,
Did
Sonny.
he indicate when they were gonna be trying to do this? Are they, is it in, read number 1, 2, 3, or whatever with the board, or?
I am not aware, no, he did not indicate, and that's yet another reason to attend the meetings. I believe he's trying to move forward quickly. Initially, I believe he wanted the extension done by the end of December, but we didn't have any information, so we did not make a recommendation to our board to agree to the extension. So I believe he wants to act quickly. I don't believe that he is concerned about potential legal action.
Oh, I don't think he is either.
And so you think he'll probably go ahead and proceed even if he doesn't get the support of the taxing bodies?
He made it very clear to me that this is his plan and he's moving forward regardless of our position.
But to extend to 3, he has to have a letter of support.
Yes, but on a completely separate note, my school board asked me to look into an extension that the Village of Crete did. And the Village of Crete did an extension with a letter of support from Larry Walsh. And I have yet to find a letter of support from the school district for that extension. So the short answer is he needs a letter of support. I don't know if he needs it from every municipality or the largest taxing body. I'm not clear on that.
Interesting, thank you. Or the one.
The board meeting.
Oh, thank you.
But he did ask us for the letter of support.
Okay.
And I'm sure now he knows.
I'm sure they do, right. Well, right now, according to the Village of Monee has a meeting, next meeting is the 28th. They just had a meeting on the 14th. And you're saying they're having some special meeting next week? Or?
No, I thought it was next week, so it's after Christmas.
So we missed the meet, we missed the.
On the 14th.
Right, the 28th is the next one after that, so. And
They
then,
are having, we have to have an annual review meeting, a joint review meeting for the TIFs.
Yeah.
And that meeting, I believe, is scheduled for December 23rd, but they give 48 hours notice, so we've not received our notice yet. But last year, it was on December 23rd, so,
Right before Christmas.
right,
Yeah, you better get there on time, too.
They close the doors.
yes.
all right, thank you, Dr. Wilson.
Dr.
Thank
Love,
you.
Thank you, excellent, and very informative. and-
Would you like me to leave these extra copies?
You know what, David, did you get copies? Why don't you?
I didn't get the color.
Well, that's why
Okay.
I made the black and
All right.
whites by accident. And
That's okay. I can get it from,
Okay,
You can actually have my color,
That's
now that I'm
okay.
done, now that I'm
all
done
right,
talking.
thank you.
oh, okay.
All right,
Thank you
let's
very
move
much.
on.
Stop, be safe.
Thank you.
Let's move on and go into,
Oh, yeah.
into a line item transfers. We have transfers in the general fund, taking from 5195 contingencies, $1,000 to line item 5200 building maintenance, and $1,000 to 5205 equipment maintenance. Is there a motion to approve? And I have signed the original. This was not signed, but the original is signed. Moved by Debbie, second by Terry. Any questions? Roll call.
Real quick, any question, real quick?
Any questions? Yeah, the best.
I see, this is here for the general fund, what was the issues there?
Building maintenance, and we had to upgrade the fire, our whole fire alarm system, and that's connected to our, everything that's over there in the red boxes.
That was contracted out.
Right, that's had to be contracted. That was something they were upgrading and they were doing with the Monee Fire Department, so it was something we had to do. So that's where it went into that. And the other one was something that we were doing with our computer, so it was something that we were doing with that.
Or was it, do we not have a contract already with our computer guy?
We have a contract, but you know, when, apparently there was something that, we bought some equipment and things like that. Do you remember what, you looked that up for me?
We have a contract with them, but anything that they do outside of their contract is paid for.
Right.
Okay, do we not, what limitation do we have? And again, I just want clarity on what were, because $1,000, so we paid $1,000.
No, we just are short
No,
in
we're
their
just short,
fund.
we're not short $1,000.
We are short
Just put it-
$20.81 in building maintenance, $95.45, but we are moving 1,000 because we still have until March 31st in case there's something else comes. So instead of making several small transfers, we make one large transfer to each line item. All right. Roll call vote, please.
Just for clarification, Burgess and Bowles?
It was
Okay.
Debbie and Terry. Debbie was the motioner and Terry was the seconder.
Okay. Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Dapper?
Yes. Okay, I'm not showing any old business. Do we have anything going on in the youth?
No, I actually tried, I wish Dr. went to the stage, because I'm going to try to get the use of their facility for next year, first part of next year, January.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a call into Governor State, actually 2 calls, but no response, and so I kind of give it up on them. But I want to be able to do something. And the school district is working on a facility rental plan, and it used to be where if there was a government body that wanted to use the facility, there was a discount, but we were looking to redo that facility rental plan to really give the government body basically free reign at it to use.
That would be nice.
Okay, with the exception of, I think, a few dollars,
Right.
but it was a
So
substantial.
we have to, we know we have to pay BFA,
Yeah, it's a
for
few
custodian
dollars.
or different things, you know, we
Right, but
know
it
we
was,
have to pay that.
nothing like it
right.
was.
All right, great, we'll just keep trying. Let's move into the trustee audit of accounts. We have audit of accounts from November 18th through December 15th for a total of $68,314.71. I'm going to start this down to be signed. Is there a motion to approve the audit of accounts?
So moved.
Moved by Maurice, is there a second? Second. Second by Debbie, okay. And then you sign it and send it down. All right, we have motion and a second. Is there a roll call vote on this, please?
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Dapper?
Yes. Board comments is coming. I want to wish everybody happy holidays. I have brought, this is the supervisor's gift, is your popcorn. And,
I wonder what that was. I wasn't touching it until somebody
this is
told
your
me what it
happy
was.
holidays. There is more popcorn over there in the chair with extra cups and everything, so if anybody wants any, help yourself.
Even your
because
budget
that
got
is
hurt this
what
year,
it
didn't
is.
it?
No. And when you cut back, you buy this popcorn. But anyway, I want everybody to have a happy holiday.
It's good popcorn, John. Thank you.
Any other board comments?
Happy holidays as well to everyone. Be safe, stay warm, and may God bless each and every one.
And Donna, I was telling Donna, we got an early Christmas gift, tickets to California on the next board meeting.
Well, Peter, so what she's trying to say is that if everybody else would please come.
Yeah, I can give you a ticket to come back.
Ticket for the meeting.
Well, I would like to say happy holidays, and also I took the liberty to make a donation out of my pocket to TOPAC.
Oh, you're so nice.
So All the officials, all the township are official. I'll let you know that this is a copy, I have the original.
This is a copy for everybody.
Okay, I'm like, okay.
That way?
There we go. Okay.
I like yours better.
Okay. Thank you, Bobby.
Thanks for the donation, Bobby.
Merry Christmas.
I could have used yellow
And
paper.
I hope you have a very safe and prosperous new year. Hope to see you in 2017.
That's right. All right, anybody else?
Everyone get that copy?
Yes. Okay, thank you. All right,
Maybe
if
that's yours.
there is nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second by Terry. Roll call, please.
Say Merry Christmas to our chairman over there too. Yeah, we present you to say something.
Trustee Bowles? Trustee Brown?
You can have my popcorn.
Trustee Brown?
Okay, there's a roll call going on. Would you listen? Roll call.
I can multitask.
Trustee Brown?
Here, I said here 3 times, you didn't hear me.
Trustee Burgess? Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Van Buren?
Yes, indeed.
Now can I talk?
And now you may talk.
Okay, more.
Lunch is I brought in some Christmas popcorn. Anybody wants it, you can have yourself up there.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Rudolph, what's your...
It's my nose, it's my nose.
Yeah, your nose is not so bright.
I don't feel like outside, kid.